Hi, I'm Nick Ray Ball. Welcome to SWeb 5.0 Video 4a LuxurySafari.co made in 6 seconds. In this video, I assign a generic template to a new web domain for a further 30x saving, making SWeb 5.0 60,000 times faster than WordPress. Noting that more than 40% of the world's websites are made in WordPress. Please note that on close inspection there are between 100 and 1,000 corrections I would like to make. Follow this link for the complete article. To simplify this presentation, if you have not seen videos 1 to 3, ask any lone web developer if they can create a website like capevillas.com, including a comparable content management system, in less than 1 month. Let me save you the bother. They can't. In this video, we see me make a copy of capevillas.com in less than 6 seconds, making SWeb 60,000 times faster. So far in videos 1, 2a, 2b and 3, we have seen me create complex websites and mobile apps 2,000 times faster than could be created by the fastest and best WordPress or any other system user in Silicon Valley in a month. Instead of making an SWeb homepage from scratch, as seen in video 1 for 10x, or adding the 70 product pages as seen in video 2b for 100x, or as in the last exercise, duplicating and adjusting an existing template within 3 minutes for an additional 20x, as seen in video 3 for 2000x. In this exercise, I lessen the time spent down to under 6 seconds by assigning an existing pre-made template to a new web domain for an additional 30x, creating a combinatorial result of 60,000x. Here is the math. Analyze it at your leisure. If the average person works 28 hours a week, 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, how many sets of 6 seconds in their month? 28 hours in minutes gives you 1,680 minutes in a week. 1,680 minutes times 10 seconds equals 16,800 sets of 6 seconds in a week. 16,800 sets of 6 seconds times 4 weeks in a month gives 67,200 sets of 6 seconds in a month, which I've rounded down to 60,000x. The real trick to this stage of the presentation is that we have made the CMS so deeply simple that by using widget rows and most often pre-created content, that anybody, including you, dear reader or listener, can make a website like a pro in minutes instead of months. Let us have a quick look at the benchmark from video 1, where I created the luxguides.com homepage from scratch in less than 3 minutes. Let's have a quick look at that luxguides.com webpage. We have a slider at the top that has these nice animations. Some beautiful lions, beautiful villas. I am not the same having seen the moon on the other side of the world. This is what I call the Condé Nast style magazine blog homepage style. Below that comes a slider full of villas to look at, pre-footer and the footer. Okay, going back. Note that in videos 1 and 2, making a website looks harder than it is because I ran out of budget for graphic design and the CMS does not visually flow as well as it should. But this is easy to fix, and when it is, we will literally consider this in education for 4-year-olds. Web Design and Development 101 for pre-graders who could, given practice, create serious real-world websites that would cost tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars using today's non-SWeb technology. How did I get to hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, in video 5, other systems already created or in progress, we will see within the SWeb algorithms 15 more SWeb systems presented as algorithm sets, which are collectively light years ahead of the status quo. Systems like the MyList, MyWebPage function, see this 1-minute video for a system that lets a salesperson, property manager or owner make a dedicated mobile or desktop web page for their client for the first 20x in a completely different part of the business, making bookings and sales. Numerous systems assist the user to increase the inquiry versus booking closure rates, particularly for the most lucrative bookings or sales, which in turn increase the return on investment from Google Ads and other advertising, marketing, affiliate marketing, social media campaigns, returning clients, referred clients, or however one gains inquiries at the top end. But this is just the beginning. We need to roll out more themes with different graphic designs designed by others, and those that join our development team themselves will add their innovative ideas as the technology develops. CMS logic, I called it back in 2016 when I realized that we could not use third-party software and needed to create it all from scratch as part of the website. In CMS logic, everything must have a CMS was the original idea. Now it is everything must connect to the CMS, and that CMS is SWeb. Like an exponential AI system, with each new system inspiring at least another 2 systems, those new systems in turn inspire or demand their own new systems and so on. Just we use humans, not machines, for this progress. This is how I've been working myself since 2009, when the first SWeb prototype was not a system to improve upon the speed of WordPress. It was the idea to exactly copy our fledgling Experience Africa website for Sotheby's International Realty as a new website called AfricanConcierge.com. Created for the Sotheby's Cape Town office to book their large and wealthy client base travelling to the continent into Cape Town luxury villas and African safaris, under the idea that in becoming the concierge company and villa provider, they would have more opportunities to meet with and show their clients around to sell their properties, plus make residual income from the travel booking, which with larger groups booking top-end villas and safaris was equal to the commission from selling a property, and we at SWeb would share in the commission from the travel arrangements. From experienceafrica.com to africanconcierge.com for Sotheby's International Realty, SWeb's first prototype, 2009. And here we can see 3 web pages, 2 from Experience Africa and 1 from africanconcierge.com, which was a copy of it, just with a different logo. From SWeb and CMS Logic to As If Machine Learning AI, SWeb 2009 to 2022. Over 13 years, 2009 to 2022, including some significant setbacks. For example, we had to scrap SWeb 1 and the first version of the SWeb websites you see above due to poor bug testing and repair. So in 2011, I stepped back from my role as CEO of Cape Villas and ExperienceAfrica.com to work full-time on SWeb and its burgeoning economic network theory, SWorld, for which I needed to learn the skills to take me from a user of Flash and Dreamweaver to working in pure code and directly managing specialist coders. Essentially, I engaged for roughly 80 hours a week, 350 days a year for 11 years in what MIT professor Max Tegmark describes as machine learning, the principle behind the Omega's AI in the introductory chapter of his book Life 3.0. Learning, R&D, improving existing systems to create more advanced systems. Some more learning, R&D, and further improvements to the systems that in turn create more advanced systems ad infinitum. This is what I have done and what I and others will continue to do, just achieved by human-led system creation, not solely machine-led system creation. This is what I mean when I say as if AI. It is the principle behind AI systems, but achieved by human-led system creation. And so I found that each system I created either inspired or demanded another system, and over those 11 years this eventually led to where we are today, where in just 6 seconds we can prepare a system that would take an entire Silicon Valley web development company and content team years to make, but as we will focus on in video 5, that's 60,000 times faster than the system that now counts for 40% of the world's websites, is far less than 1% of the systems we find in the complete 10 technologies. So actually, to recreate a future SWeb and SWorld website, including the 10 technology systems, will cost many millions of dollars. But SWeb users can But for SWeb users, it can be remade and customized by a girl age 4 in whatever part of the world they happen to be in, just using a laptop, or later releases, just her phone. The 60,000x faster system is just one algorithm within T1 SWeb, and SWeb is the first of the 10 technologies that sit upon its backbone, each getting progressively more complex, more humanly efficient, and devastatingly beneficial until technology 10, T10, the S-World Angel Wing AI, moves up a gear from exponential AI to an AI technology specifically designed to create the greatest combinatorial explosion from technologies 1 to 9. If that does not impress, note that combinatorial is the big brother of exponential, only trumped by inflationary expansion. Thus, a combinatorial explosion in AI can be the summit of AI technology for at least the next few decades. The point I'm trying to present is that 60,000x at one facet of business is not enough to create a fully determined business system. But hundreds of systems, each with their own X multiplier affecting every part of the business and industrial process, is. Let us have a quick look at the latest 10 technologies graphic before circling back to SWeb, CMS logic, and the 60,000x video conclusion. Note that the X forecast you see on the right of the graphic is not relative to the time taken performing one function. Instead, it is the potential X investment return from S-World companies. For more on this, jump to sworld.org to see the S-World algorithms. Login required. Here's the graphic. Look at it at your leisure. Brands on the left, X forecast on the right. Note that the T8 Net Zero DCA, Dynamic Comparative Advantage software, 30x figure we see in blue, is money spent on special projects, not potential investment return. Special projects are sources of beneficial/constructive GDP, which may at first seem more relevant to foundations and governments than businesses, but with this said, it is the craft called tax symmetry and an enabler of T7 SRES to choose profitable businesses that produce beneficial/constructive GDP. Do not confuse T8 Net Zero DCA with purely leftist sentiment. Most businesses can be beneficial, creating constructive GDP if administered in the right way, which is, after all, the purposes of the 10 technologies. Moreover, with that 30x boost we see from T7 SRES, which applies to every business in a grand spin network, things such as green and other premiums can easily be afforded into the mix. For more than 2 million words of essential detail on this, see the S-World algorithms, and in particular Part 4, SRES and the City. But for now, we return to the S-World algorithms Part 2, the S-World platform, and Technology 1, SWeb. What I'm going to show you now in this SWeb proof of concept video is how I can, with just 3 mouse actions in the master CMS, assign a new SWeb template to a blank web domain. I'm going to show you the blank luxurysafari.co website homepage, and then in under 6 seconds I will transform it into a new website, whereafter its new owner can adjust it to their own wishes for a more than 60,000x result relative to the month or more it would take our lone Silicon Valley expert to do same. Okay, let's go to SWeb 5.0 Domains Controller, found on the Villa Secrets website, login required. Let me see me swap templates, and after have a look at the new storyboard style extended homepage. See the website's products pages, and from there we zoom in on one of the 70 product pages, of which I think Elusaba, Sir Richard Branson's private game reserve, will be the most appropriate for this audience. Okay, let's follow the link. And we see a blank page except for the menu bar at the top. Okay, here we go. And in less than 6 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, there we go. We're done. But scrolling down and back to there, jumping back from the video, while we are waiting for the 20 seconds that it takes to propagate across the World Wide Web, let me read you through 3 of my favorite quotes from Peter Thiel's 0 to 1 that really made me focus on this video presentation. Peter's 0 to 1 masterfully encapsulates monopoly and scale opportunities, particularly in software. If you have not read it already, please do so. It is a must-read for all those wishing to better understand S-World. From 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel with Blake Masters. As a good rule of thumb, proprietary technology must be at least 10 times better than its closest substitute in some important dimension to lead to a real monopolistic advantage. The clearest way to make a 10x improvement is to invent something completely new. If you build something valuable where there was nothing before, the increase in value is theoretically infinite. And a monopoly business gets stronger as it gets bigger. The fixed costs of creating a product, engineering, management, office space, can be spread out over ever greater quantities of scales. And this is the important part. Software startups can enjoy especially dramatic economies of scale because the marginal cost of producing another copy of the product is close to zero. Finally, if you take a typewriter and build 100, you have made horizontal progress. If you take a typewriter and build a word processor, you have made vertical progress. Note that right now on luxurysafari.co, the navigation is the navigation from capevillas.com. This needs to be adapted for Safari as a task we are looking at, or we are working on, that you will see in video 6. For now, to follow what I'm doing on the video, see this link for the hot list page. Now let's go back to luxurysafari.co. Okay, we can see it is now propagated. We start with this slider at the top, showing some of the excellent safaris. Here's a beautiful young leopard at Singita. This is in South Africa. North Island, the Seychelles. Villa Beyond Infinity in Cape Town. Inside the villa, and the slideshow continues. Important, goes straight into products with call to actions, which are buying actions. Then I start, because we can, what I call a storyboard homepage, starting with the Luxury Safari Company, some more product call to actions, then going into Africa's leading safari brands. Singita Villas and Safaris, Virgin Limited Edition, the Royal Portfolio, and we should add to that Lion Sands and the Wilderness Collection. Then we go to and beyond for private islands. We trump that with exclusive use private islands before circling to villas in Cape Town, and then villas by Stephen Anthony in Cape Town, my favourite architect, before we circle back to safaris again, this time via locations, majestic locations. Tanzania, sorry, I always get that wrong. The Seychelles, Mozambique, leading safaris in South Africa, game reserves in the Sabi Sands, which is considered the most the best location in South Africa. The Western Cape, South Africa, including some really lovely properties. Cape Town, the mother city. Camps Bay, Cape Town. Ending up in Clifton, Cape Town, the Cap Ferrat of Africa. Before concluding with this villa slider showing the villas in Cape Town again. Okay, we're going to go all the way back to the top of this homepage, this extended homepage, which we can do nowadays because servers are so powerful. You can pretty much load as much content as you want on one page. Couldn't do it in the old days, not by a long chalk. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at a products page, Best of Africa, just showing us the products, various products. And here we see Lion Sands that we missed out on earlier. Some great other options. Morocco family houses. Okay, and as promised to end, we're going to go to Sir Richard Branson's Game Lodge, Ulu Saba. starting with a slider, its own slider, and another very young, very beautiful leopard. Okay, we're going to slide down, price, and another Condé Nast style homepage, villa page, sorry. Actually, it's not, it's a Safari page. Of course, it's a Safari page. Safari product page. And you know, some people's home pages are not as good as the individual product pages on this website. So, you know, all in all, a good job. Even if I do say so myself. Thanks ever so much for watching. Cheerio.